is for you when you are a healer or a coach or a life coach or a designer or an artist, and you have a business that relies on a stream of really epic clients, but you don't know where the clients are because they can't find you, because you're sort of invisible to them. So if that is you, hold on, because I'm going to give you the most amazing tip ever, and it's really easy. It takes a little bit of time, but then you really get something. So this is how you do. So, oh, by the way, my name is Esther de Charon de Saint-Germain. I am a branding queen. I work in branding for over almost 30 years, and I'm going to teach you how to use the brand of other people to make your own brand more clearer for your audience, to stand out. But first, let me start with what is branding, because there is a lot of misconceptions about what is branding. So some people say personal branding is what people say about you when you are not in the room. I don't think that is true, because it starts with a conscious decision. It starts with setting yourself apart from your peers in a way where you can fully express who you are to your people. And so it always starts with truly understanding who you really are, understanding what makes you different, what sets you apart from your peers, what makes you unique. And so for that we use the archetypes, because they're so good with that. But there is one other thing that you can do to set yourself apart. Now, here's what you do. So imagine that you have a channel here on YouTube, or you have a website and you're posting, and you're a coach or a healer, and you want to show the world what it is that you do and why you are the one for your audience, what makes you the one for them. Now, what you do is get a pen and a paper. Is you go to 2 or 3 peers. So we don't say competition, right? Because competition is boring. So your peers. And so you look for, in the search bar here in YouTube or in Google, and you type the things that you do. So let's say you are a health coach and you work with parents and newborn babies. So what you do is you type a health coach for parents with newborn babies. Well, you will see at least 2 or 3, but possibly way more people who are sort of doing the same. Now, don't go to the really large ones. Go to people where you feel like, oh, they're sort of at the same level, or just a little bit successful as far as you can see than you are. So for this aspiring feeling, right? There's one thing. Okay, this is important. I'm going to get little bit closer. Do not go for FOMO, because that is absolutely not the intention of finding your uniqueness. For some people this will be easier than for others, but what you do is you sort of become a researcher. If you're a sage, if your archetype is a sage, this will be way easier for you than when you're an innocent, for instance. What you do is you just study them. This is not about better or worse or ugly or whatever, or for copying. Absolutely not. This is just to see where you are in the firmament of thousands and thousands and thousands of businesses, so that you can use that to set yourself apart. Okay. So, number 1 is find out their location. Find out if they are locally, do they work online, and do they work globally, do they travel, like that. And it's just make 3 rows and then see, where are you different? What is it that they do that you do not do? And so and always from the idea of what sets me apart, why am I different, what makes me unique. Then number 2 is go and find what is in their toolbox. So that's all the knowledge they share about. Do they have a specific healing method or a researching method? So what do they use? Or how do they support their people? Okay, goes all in your 3 or 4, because you're there as well, your 4 columns. Then what is your take on your profession? So how different or alike are you from people in your field? So let's say you're the health coach who helps parents with young children. So that could be because your deepest wish is that young children are connected to the earth. And that everything that they eat and feel or play with, it comes straight from the earth. So are all for children playing outside and having fresh air and everything, and the others are more into supplements and other things. So there is no wrong, there is no right, there's just what makes you different. So that goes into your column. Then who are there and who are your soul clients? Now, a soul client, I need to explain what it is, because I hear people talk about the ideal client avatar. Don't do that. Go for the soul client. The soul client is the type of client that you are naturally connected with. It's the client that when they are in front of you, or you're having a call with them, or they're watching you, you immediately know, you are my person. You make me happy. I can learn something from you, and you can learn something from me. So there is immediately a connection. So for instance, my clients are since 2016 what I call wonderfully weird women, meaning they are very often ADHD or ODHD or autistic or very sensitive or multi-passionate. They're almost all very multi-passionate or fiercely bright. And the thing that ties them together is that they very often feel the odd one out. So what they all know and feel and have experienced is that they often don't belong, and they're looking for a place where they belong. Now, how do I know? It's because I'm doing this for a really, really long time, and it's also a feeling, right? You probably recognize that. Your soul clients, it's almost sort of like a love connection. So now you go and see who their soul clients are. So what you do is you look at the type of clients, the age, what do they look like is very important. Are they very posh or are they very down to earth? Are they like real yoga people? Are they professionals? So it study them and really write down, what do I see? What do they look like? And how are my clients different? By the way, this tiny little part of who are your soul clients, that's already like a big thing. But for now we go for the small things. Then, let me see, because I got a list here. Oh yeah, this is a really important one. How do their soul clients and how do your soul clients talk about you? So how do their clients talk about them and your clients about you? And you can do that by looking at their testimonials. Now, let's go back to the health coach who works with young parents. So let's say in the testimonials it's all about, I got very clear lessons and I got a clear outcome and we all feel very healthy and thank you, bye. And in your testimonials, it's all about, I felt so seen and she was really taking it seriously. And for the first time, someone was really helping me. So it's more about human connection, or just the other way around. And so why that matters is that if it's all about clear, I got the shopping list, I got the this, I got the that, it's very practical. So if you are a very practical person, then that should be everywhere. Everyone should know that if they have an appointment with you, then you set it all up and they can implement it themselves, for instance. So can you see the difference between the connection and how you need to emphasize that in order to make yourself different from the others? So you do that by the testimonials. Then, what results do their clients get? Which ties in a little bit with the previous question. So it's the results they get, and that's also the results that are being promised. I'm a branding expert. The results, just to give you an example, the result that my clients get are completely different than they would get with someone who only does personal branding. Because the way I work with branding, it starts with you. It starts with self-love, it starts with self-acceptance, and then it's like we blossom the flower from there. But most of us just implement this, implement that, boom, ready. And so there is no right, there is no wrong, there is no competition, because I'm really clear about why I'm doing things differently, who it's for, and what I do differently. Okay? So if you're able to tell this to people, then you're already so much more visible. Then their voice. I do a lot of ums. Way more than you will hear right now. Because I really need to think. And so I have to remove sometimes minutes and minutes of ums, because I go like, I don't know. Oh, what shall I do next? Like that, okay? So and it's also the way I talk. So I know that if I can really use my arms and my hands and everything, it becomes so much easier to me. It's so much easier to talk and to communicate, because it helps me to express myself. So that is, it's a voice and how I move. There are also people who are perfectly amazing at just really sitting like this and then tell you a very long and complicated story. And you are immediately get it. And they got the facts and the figures and they know what they do. And so they're so invested in what they want to teach you that it's immediately clear. So this is someone I want to learn from. I don't want to learn from the lady with the octopus arms. I want to, because that is too much. I want to learn from the person who is really clear, who's maybe even a little bit more drier, because it helps you to, for instance, to concentrate on the content rather than on the person. So again, there is no wrong and there is no right. The only thing that matters is that you find how you are talking, how you are moving, because this moving and your body and your face and the way you smile and what you're wearing or what you're not wearing, or your hair and your backdrop and everything is part of your brand. Everything is part of how you communicate with people. It's all about how you make people feel you. And then they immediately know, I trust this person or I don't trust this person. So it's not about I like this person or I don't like this person. It's just like, yeah, I get it. I get her or him or they. Can you see that? Can you see how important it is? Okay, let's see if I got another question. Oh yeah, so this one is, there are way more questions, but what is their archetype? So if you already know things about your archetype, then can you guess their archetype? Let me tell you, the Real You brand archetypes, there are 12 archetypes. I made the brand archetypes more like the personal archetypes, because I work with really small businesses, like one person or maybe two, but not like the Fortune 500 businesses. I've done that. I'm over it. Really, really, really love working with small businesses that are run by people who are so deeply passionate about what it is that they do or they create or they heal. And so these are my people. Now, if you take the quiz, before I forget, I will leave the link. If you take the quiz, then you can immediately find your brand archetype. So then you get, the first one is on me. What you do, the best thing that you can do, that's actually a really good idea. So what you do is you take the quiz and then read about your archetype and then take it with you in your research and see if you can guess their archetypes. So if you are our imaginary friend, the health coach who worked with young parents and young children, right? Then most likely there is a nurturer or an innocent in your brand archetypes. So that means that innocent is all about clarity and purity and doing it simple and being really honest. The nurturer is all about, I nurture you, I'm here. And so it's so much more soft. So what you can do is find if you can see the same in other personal brands, or that you feel, I actually don't like this whole softness thing. I want it to be more expressive. And then most likely there is a creator in your brand archetype circle, or maybe even a rebel because you want to change things. So this is what you do. So find 3 or 2 people who do the same as you, add yourself to the list, and then find the answers, and then you immediately get more clarity on what makes you different, and then start talking about that. Write your post, create a video about it, create a video about, hey people, I'm doing it like this or like that, and focus on the differences rather than on the sameness. Okay, there's so much more to say, but this is a really cool, elegant and simple tip if you want to show your audience who you really are. I hope this helps. I know it will. Do not forget to like me and to subscribe to me so that more people can see this and more people will be able to stand out by being more themselves, because that's ultimately what we do. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful day, and let me know what other branding tips you want, or let me know what makes it hard for you to be different, to stand out. Okay, bye. This is